Yo, what's up, everyone? Yo, Sup here, back with another video, and today I'm doing something very different. I'm talking about electronics and my brand new gaming PC. I'm definitely not a wizard when it comes to PC parts, so don't take this as a PC build guide by any means at all. I'm kind of just excited about it and want to talk about my new parts, my old PC, and kind of just what I think it's going to help me do in the future. My old PC was wonderful and absolutely amazing, but it got to the point now that I have a new job that I'm like, it's time to splurge a little bit and spoil myself and upgrade my computer and hopefully help make better content and that kind of stuff for you guys and just myself, because I love gaming and streaming and recording, and it was getting a little tough on my old computer. It was definitely starting to slow down and not be able to keep up with the newer games. So kind of just going to dive into all that sort of stuff and just, have a chill conversation about my new stuff. And I don't know, maybe if helps one of you guys realize it's not that insane to have a really good PC. This isn't, it's expensive, but it's not super duper out of reach for majority of people if you save for a little bit. All right, let's get into the build. Alrighty, so first thing is that I am not by any means a PC expert by any means whatsoever. Do not take this as, oh, this guy is a PC wizard. He knows exactly what he's talking about. It's parts wise, why this one's better than this one. I have no idea. All right, I'm gonna be straightforward. The way I found my new build is I went on Reddit to a PC helper Reddit thread, like community, and put in what my old computer was, what I want, my budget, and what I want to be able to do with this new computer, and kind of just put a really detailed explanation of like kind of that sort of thing. And I had a bunch of amazing people get back to me with different parts, different companies I should go for, why I should go for them over others. They gave me research to back it, that sort of thing. So just, if you're in a similar situation for me, then you're kind of trying to either upgrade from a different PC or go from console to PC, and you kind of have no idea what you're doing. You're wanting to go into the build it yourself mode, then Reddit is a great place for parts. I use PC Part Picker personally to see if they're compatible. I think most people do. I've done it for my very first computer that I built by myself, which I did just do off of my own knowledge and no other help. But yeah, kind of just, that's kind of the parameter for it, is that I have no idea why any of these parts are better really than any other parts. I went to Reddit. This is what Reddit came up with. I'm somewhat knowledgeable in the sense that I know certain things are better than others, just out of, I guess, knowledge of gaming stuff and knowing and building my first computer, but nothing in this is like, oh, I picked this for this specific reason. So don't think that this is like some help guide, PC guide. Kind of just going over what I did, that sort of sense. So to start out, I did switch from Intel to AMD. I will go over my old PC in a little bit, but I did go from Intel to AMD. Um, the guy on Reddit did give me some sources and stuff like that, and kind of said that right now Intel and AMD are pretty close, but AMD is actually above, and AMD is actually cheaper than Intel for the same or if not better CPU. So in that sense, I went with the AMD Ryzen 7 9800 X3D 4.7 gigahertz 8-core processor. Again, I don't know much about CPUs. I know 8 cores. It has 8 cores, but it has actually 16 that it can use. Um, and I forget how many threads it has, but it's a pretty beastly CPU. I streamed and I played Battlefield last night on all high settings. I was getting 240 FPS and had no problems whatsoever with lagging on stream, lagging in game. I had Google Chrome open for the first time while streaming in forever, I think. Like I've had to have just Discord, my Streamlabs OBS, and my game open for the longest time now. Otherwise my computer just completely just caps out basically. CPU cooler. My old CPU core was pretty shit. This new one's a lot bigger and I think a lot better. I went with a Thermalite Phantom Spirit. Um, and again, I don't know much about this one at all, actually. I know It makes direct contact with it, and it's got 2 fans where my other one had 1. That's about as far as I go. Um, yeah, honestly, I have no idea really what any of it really means. Um, the motherboard is very important. Again, don't really know exactly what my motherboard is better for some reason than other ones. I know my last one is the same brand. I'm pretty sure I have a Gigabyte B850 Gaming X Wi-Fi 6E motherboard. The biggest thing with motherboards is, are they compatible with your CPU, and are they compatible with like Battlefield and COD now both have secure boot and the TPM 2.0 thing that I'm pretty sure some motherboards don't have the ability to do. And some CPUs don't have the ability to do. So that's pretty important with looking with new gaming, is do they have that ability? Um, so yeah, that's the motherboard. The memory or RAM, um, they call it memory, which it is I went from 16 gigs to 32 gigs, so complete upgrade right there. RAM, other than the amount of gigabytes of it, I think DDR5. I think I had DDR4 before. I will go over it in the future, in the next like little section, but I'm pretty sure I had DDR4 before. So DDR5, I'm pretty sure just means that it can process a little bit faster. I'm not 100%. Again, not a PC person, but yeah, went from 16 to 32, which is an upgrade. It allows it to process more things at once, helps with the CPU and stuff like that. You know, I just found out about what VRAM is this year, and that basically it's like the amount of processing that your computer can do. And when I was playing COD and like Battlefield with my old computer, I had to lower my VRAM like target so that it matched my computer better. Where now I can um my VRAM is not even close. Like it's legitimately like nowhere near it. When I was playing Battlefield yesterday, it was like the VRAM was like this little sliver over here, and then the or my how much I was using like here, and then the line was like all the way on this side, like literally nowhere near it at all. So fantastic. I did go with a 2 terabyte PCI SSD drive. I used to have a hard drive. I'm going to get an external hard drive strictly for recording purposes, clips, stuff like that. I just need it. But for games and my Windows, I did go with the SSD, and it has been a game changer. Oh my God, I did not know what the difference was, but I downloaded Windows yesterday, and I swear to gosh, 15 minutes, where my other computer on the hard drive probably would have taken 3 hours to download. Like, it's night and day difference between a SSD and hard drive. It's absolutely insane. So that is absolutely perfect. Um, and for, I guess, most people's biggest thing of like, ooh, what'd you get? What'd you get? Is the graphics card. I did get a NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5080. Yes, I am on a 5080. It is a 50 series. I was thinking about the 5090, but 5090 is an extra $1,000. And right now, the 5080 is the second best you can get, and the 5090 is way better. But for me, I don't think I really needed a 5090. I think the 5080 does more than enough, kind of, to suffice what I want to do. Stream, record, game at the same time. I can do all three of those things at the same time and have perfectly enough frames. Same thing with the CPU and the RAM. I have more than enough stuff with those three to be able to do all three of those things. It's amazing to have a 5080. Like I said, I was running 240 FPS last night playing Battlefield, which apparently has been having some struggles with people getting good FPS on it. And I've been running 240. I'm so excited for Black Ops 7 this year because I'm probably gonna be able to have great settings and be able to have good FPS at the same time. So really looking forward to that. Um, the case is a Monitech XR ATX mid-tower case. This case is actually way better than my old case. My old case had a problem with overheating a little bit. I actually near the end had to take the side panel off and put a normal, just small fan to blow cold air into it because it would get too hot. So this case is way better. Has 2 fans on the back, 1 fan intake, and then 1 exhaust fan on the back. The other thing about it is that it's a lot bigger, so there's more space, especially needed with a 5080. 5080 is absolutely massive. Um, but there's a lot of space. Great cable management. You know, my other case didn't really have any cable management, so there's a lot of wires just hanging throughout it. Where this one has the back panel, I could pull the wires through, make it look nice and clean and sleek, and just keep it, you know, looking good type of thing, and allows it to be accessible for future upgrades or changes, stuff like that, which is good. And then last but not least is the power supply. Not really super important, but I did get a 1050 watt 80 grade gold power supply module as well. More than enough wattage. I think my expected wattage was like 600 watts or something like that. So more than plenty of power to power the computer. So shouldn't have a problem with that. Where my last one, by the time I was finished, the power supply I had was not. It was basically maxed out. There was no spare power. Every little bit of power was being utilized by that thing, and that's probably why I had some performance issues. Probably could have been one of the things that I upgraded. But the reason I upgraded, I don't think I really said this, was I was thinking about just upgrading my old computer, and I was like, oh, I'll get a new case, I'll get a new power supply, I'm gonna get a new CPU or GPU, and then I was gonna get more hard drive. So there was only a few things that I wasn't gonna do, and yeah, I could have saved probably $600 on you know, power basically. Like I could have saved $600 on uh to not upgrade my CPU cooler motherboard. But my CPU wasn't the best. It was really good, but it wasn't the best. And I felt to upgrade all of them at once was the best option, and kind of just new build, especially since I was getting a new case. It just felt right to just build it all from scratch and restart type of thing. Moving on to my old one. So, like I just talked about the CPU, I had an Intel Core i7-9700K, which was also an 8-core processor, 3.6 gigahertz, so it's definitely a lot slower than the new one. The new one's definitely a lot faster, which, again, part of the reason I upgraded it. It was good, but, you know, when I'm streaming, recording, gaming all at once, I needed to be able to process as much as possible and kind of handle all that weight and load. CPU cooler, not really important. It was a pretty shitty CPU cooler, actually. My CPU was always hot as shit, like 80 degrees Celsius and shit like that. So probably not the best, but yeah. I had an ASRock B365 motherboard. Again, don't really know much about the motherboard. No, it's compatible with my GPU, RAM, CPU. So really all I had. I did have 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, so I did have DDR4 RAM. 16 gigs not bad. I started with 8. 16 gigs definitely felt an upgrade in that, especially when I got the CPU. And yeah. And then I got 1 terabyte of hard drive. Not the best, but not the worst at the same time. Very slow. Had space, but again, very, very slow. The graphics card was a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080. Great graphics card. Did its job when I got it. I got it in 2021, I think. Fairly new at the time. You know, it was a little bit old. I think it came out like 2017, 2018. But I got it for Fortnite. Helped out that. Same thing with the Intel Core i7. Then the case I had was the Roswell Micro ATX Tower. Very small, not good. Wouldn't really recommend it. If you want a cheap case, there's probably a lot nicer, cheaper cases. The only good thing was it's small, and that's part of the reason I got it, was I didn't want a massive PC when I first got a PC. But now, looking back at it, I wish I just got a better case, because I think it definitely hindered some of my abilities in my case with just speed, just because of heat and how bad it was at like the moving air around. And then my power supply, like I said, 550 watts. I don't think it came at it, but it was very close wattage wise to that limit. So, you know, it's not great in that sense that it was so close to it. I want to say it was like 450 watts, so only 100 left to spare. If I was really pushing it, it might have been a little bit worse. But the estimated wattage from PC Power Picker is an only estimate, so not 100%. But yeah, I'll put all the parts. Well, I'm going to have a screenshot of my parts from both of them. My old one doesn't really have any of the prices. My new one does. That will have been before, so you'll see all the prices of that, how much it cost, that sort of thing. But if you did miss the price, it was, for my new computer, a total of $2,116 before taxes. It was about probably $2,200 after taxes, maybe $2,300. Nothing too crazy about it all, mainly off Amazon and then Newegg. It's the only two sites. The sites might be different now based on the screenshot, but when I bought it, two things were off Newegg and one thing was off. And then Best Buy and Amazon. I got my GPU from Best Buy and the rest were Amazon. So pretty easy, pretty clean. Got here all in with like a week. Built it 2 days ago and yesterday, and yeah, have a brand new computer, which is pretty cool. And I also have Windows 11 installed on it. You know, you don't have to buy the password key, like the pass key. So I have a free version. I will probably eventually end up upgrading to Windows 11 with the pass key just because I like the personalization of it. But overall, you don't need that. The reasoning behind my computer upgrade was that I have been streaming and recording a lot more, and it was getting worse for streaming. I had to have very limited stuff on my stream and like not be able to be as interactive and updated as I want it, I guess, to be. And I couldn't have anything else up on my computer. I had to have Streamlabs, Discord, game. That's it. And even then, it was very limited. My game had to be on low settings for everything, so it didn't really look the best. It was very grainy in that sort of look. And even at that, it ran maybe like 100 to 120 FPS, which is still very good, but you can get a console that runs stuff just as fast for that. And that was another alternative for Black Ops 7, was getting a console, playing console only, and getting a capture card and just streaming my old computer. But then I thought about like other games, and I've been having a lot of fun playing Battlefield right now and Counter-Strike this summer. That I was like, in the long term, getting a new computer would be the better option. I'll probably have it for a while. None of this stuff should go out of fashion for a very long time, and it's a great computer, and just kind of have it for a while and just be happy with my choice of getting a new computer. That being said, I do think this will upgrade the content. I hope you guys do too. I'm not going to make much content about a computer often, so I figured why not? Got a new computer, let's show it off, show what I'm working with type of thing. Maybe inspire someone that $2,000 is a lot, but you don't need to get this as behemoth as a computer. But at the same time, I saved up from my previous job the $2,000, and then now that I have my full-time job, I had that little bit of extra income where I felt that it was fine to be able to buy this. So that's a good thing. And you can get a lot cheaper of a computer that's just as good for cheaper. You don't have to get a 5080, which costs $1,000. You don't have to get the Ryzen 7, which costs basically $500. And you can get a very good computer for a lot cheaper and build it yourself because you'll save a lot of money. There's a lot of great YouTube videos out there. I watched Linus Tech Tips and a bunch of other videos. There's so many YouTube videos. If you run into a problem, just look up the specific part. There's probably a video for it. My CPU cooler, didn't really know how to install it. Looked up the part. Video came up on how to install it for an AMD driver. Read the manuals, stuff like that. And same thing with the case. Didn't know how to put the fans on. Didn't know where the cable was because it was all in like a clump. Watched the video. Showed exactly where it was. Plugged it into my motherboard. Boom. It worked. There's a lot of amazing videos out there if you're a first-time PC builder. This is my second one now, and I've upgraded my other one, so kind of 2.5, I would say. So I'm pretty confident with it. It's still very scary because it's very expensive stuff. So there's that disclaimer, but at the same time, if you want to build a computer, it's not as hard. I can do it, you can do it type of thing. Just be very careful, watch a lot of videos, do a lot of research, ask for help. Reddit's a great space. There's a lot of great people out there looking to help you with PC parts. So that is one of the things. But yeah, hopefully this will make some better content. You should be seeing more videos from me and more about Black Ops 7 probably and Battlefield in the future. And just other games because I'm just a gamer at the end of the day. Stream basically every day, make clips. So I just like doing it. Hopefully this will help me do it a little bit better and faster and type of things. And not only for the content side, but the gaming side. I was a little tired of being capped at 100 FPS with crappy settings. So now hopefully I should be able to run it some decently high quality settings and some good FPS. But if you did enjoy this video, leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Maybe you're going to build a PC. Let me know what you think about the PC in the comments down below. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and turn notifications so you miss my next videos. Until next time, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.